Hey guys, what's up? IrishEmerald here, and welcome to our team prep for week two of the UGBC. I nearly stumbled over the entrance completely. That intro was horrendous, but yeah, we just about got through week one of the UGBC. If you're just catching up with the series, the UGBC is basically just a Pokemon competitive battle league that I've just started being in, and I'm going to record my team prep and the team and the battles for you guys and put them online for you guys to watch. If you guys didn't see last week's battle we against the San Antonio Spurs, we got so lucky at the end, so lucky. Um, Meng, who was the coach of the Spurs, he was fuming. He was none too impressed about how how lucky we got at the end to pick up the win. But you know, I'm pretty sure it'll come around. It'll come back around, and we'll be on the other end of bad luck like that. But we have to keep on and carry on. So this week we're up against David and Fat Leonardos. Now David's team, if I can pull it up very quickly, David's team is pretty good. A bit scary, but I think we should be able to handle it this week. He's got Thunderous Incarnate, Excadrill, Togekiss, Reniculus, Vaporeon, Mega Houndoom, Emboar, Drapion, Aerodactyl, Miltank, Hariyama, and Ludicolo. Now, it's a good all-round team, but I think Mamoswine for us was just so key. So I'm going to get into how the team I built, why I built it, what my thought process through the whole thing, etc. And hopefully it won't take too long. I didn't put too much thought into it. I kind of basically picked two mons. And I'm like, right, how do I deal with the rest of his team? That was how I was thinking about. So when I first glanced at David's team, I noticed his team is so weak to Mamoswine. Mamoswine cuts through his team like butter. We have Ice for his flying types. We have Ground for the Excadrill, the Drapion, the Mega Houndoom, and the Emboar. So we basically have over half his team just cut off entirely with the with Mamoswine. I decided to choice it because I know if I went bulky I could take hits, but I really wanted to keep Mamoswine as fresh as possible, and I wanted to outspeed everything. I didn't want to be a case where I was relying on Ice Shard priority to KO Togekiss or KO Thunderous. I wanted to be the case where I'm coming in and I'm destroying this thing. I'm going to Ice Could Crash this thing and it's going to be done, so it's going to be gone. So we're rocking out with EQ, Knockoff, Icicle Grass, and Freeze Dry. So I literally started straight away. I went, right, Earthquake, Icicle Crash. I went Knockoff because of Reniculus. I think Reniculus will probably be his answer to Mamoswine. So I kind of said, right, Knockoff. There we go, boom. Something to deal with that. And then I put Freeze Dry at the end to deal with Ludicolo because he could bring it. Seeing Mamoswine. So I said I'll put Freeze Dry at the end to deal with Ludicolo because that thing will die to Freeze Dry from this Mamoswine. And I also have it there, if we manage to wear down the Vaporeon at all, I kind of want to be able to come in and just zap it with a Freeze Dry and get it over and done with. So I think Quaking is going to be our win con for this game. I think we have to keep Mamoswine safe for as long as possible because I see him bringing Togekiss and Thunderous because he'll want to T-Wave the Mega Charizard X with Thundy, and then he'll have Togekiss because he knows he doesn't want to deal with because he wants that immunity against Zardex. That's what I feel like he's going to do, so I'm pretty sure he's going to bring that. So that was kind of like my idea behind Mamoswine. I thought we can take anything really from this, we're fine. And then I was kind of looking at the rest of his team, and I was thinking, I kind of need a bait for Excadrill. That was my thinking, because I was looking at Quaking, and Choice Scarf Excadrill still outspeeds, it still OHKOs with Iron Head, and I was thinking I need a bait for this Excadrill. I need a bait to bring the Excadrill and then hurt it badly with something. So I thought Regirock might be the best bait for it, because Regirock is bulky enough to be able to take a hit from anything. Like, you know, look, like if you look at defensive stats, this thing is taking hits, like it's taking hits for days. So I figured this was probably the best way to go. I dumped it all in special bulk because I figured if I'm bringing Regirock, I might as well have this guy sticking around for as long as possible. I have Stealth Rocks on Regirock because he's got flying types. He's got flying types galore. He's got a few fire types. I'm bringing Stealth Rocks so as to cripple these guys. I said I'll bring T-Wave because, you know, if I can paralyze one or two mons, it'd be nice. It's kind of, you know, it's always nice to get like a bit of speed control. And I figured, you know, even though Quake is scarfed, like later on with a couple of other ones, I might want to be able to say, right, you're crippled now, I can outspeed you, because that turned out to be very key. T-Wave was key to us winning the last week's battle. So I was reluctant to let go of it. I figured T-Wave might be a good idea, and plus we'll take a hit to be able to eat it. And then I just went EQ Stone Edge. I went for the Edge Quake combo because it is just power. As simple as that. It's just power. A EQ does what I wanted to do to the Excadrill. The Stone Edge is going to deal damage to all his flying types that he may or may not bring in. And I figured, job done. I thought this would be the bait for the Excadrill, and it should deal with one or two more of his mons. Now, I thought we had like half his team very, very well covered with this, but the other half we did not. The other half of his team I felt we were still very, very weak on, and we still needed answers for. So I was looking at his team and I was trying to figure out what he's going to bring, and I was looking at Vaporeon, and I was looking at Reniculus, and that's what kind of led me to my next two picks. So I said I'll go with Scyther again, because even Scyther was clutch, and I know everybody's here thinking, that's Irish, that's the same set you brought last week, and I'm like, yeah, it's the same set, but like it does so much against that Reniculus that I felt it's worth bringing it again. I feel like he probably might Will-O-Wisp us if we bring Sword on the first turn and we can SD with +1, and I think we can kind of slowly set up on the Reniculus and then proceed to knock off. Obviously switches the new turn. That was my kind of line of thought on it. You know, I am leaning towards this being like the, you know, my answer to Reniculus. Like the Volite will allow it to live a bit longer. I'm not bringing Baton Pass this time. I didn't see the need for it at this stage of my team building. I figured knock off again. I was tempted to go Brick Break, but I said knock off again might be the best bet. Now at this point, I'm still undecided on Quaking, because at this point I have knock off on Sword, and I was thinking, you know, I should run Superpower on the Quaking to deal with the Miltank. So I'm not gonna lie, I am gonna go with it at this point. At this point I was thinking Superpower is probably my best bet against the Miltank, because I don't have anything that come in and wants to deal with the Miltank, and I can see the Miltank being his counter to Mamoswine, because he doesn't really have much outside Vaporeon and Ludicolo. Like Miltank's his next option, and I have like the Ludicolo. Like he should know by now. Mamoswine carries Freeze Dry for Ludicolo, and I'm going to carry Freeze Dry. If I see the Ludicolo switch, I'm bringing Freeze Dry, and I'm going to nail him with it. So I'm expecting him to realize this and not come in with Ludicolo, and he might be fearful of Vaporeon, of bringing Vaporeon once it's weakened. So I'm expecting this Miltank to be brought along as well, because it has Tick Fat and it deals with Charizard X extremely well, like with his fire type moves. So I thought that's probably his best bet. I was thinking he'd probably bring Miltank, so let's bring Superpower to deal with it. So that was my line of thought, and Scyther is just there pretty much to deal with Reniculus. And then outside of that, I was there, right, Vaporeon is the next big threat on the team. So I'm bringing Solar Panel, the Heliowisk, if I don't get myself tongue-tied. I decided I'll bring that because this guy's stats is just monsters. Like, look at these stats. 109 special attack, 109 speed, And Life 4 boosted, this thing's gonna wreck. It's gonna hurt something, and it's gonna hurt something pretty hard. I got a water immunity here, so Ludicolo and Vaporeon will not have a license to go scald me all day. They're gonna have to be careful with Dry Skin knocking about. I have Hyper Voice and Thunderbolt because they're my two most powerful stabs. I Volt Switch there to complete a nice Volt Turn core with Scyther. Even though it's a very fast Volt Turn core, but I felt, it would give us a lot of momentum. I felt going into the team, especially since Regirock can take so many hits. It's ridiculous amount of natural bulk. And then I decided I'll go for Dark Pulse, just in case the Reniculus is still knocking about. I'm really fearful of this Reniculus, and I decided I'll go Dark Pulse, because to be able to deal with it. I was at one point I was thinking Focus Blast for Miltank, but I figured, I don't want to rely on Focus Blast to be able to OHKO Miltank, and the Excadrill. And I figured if he brings in Excadrill, I'm not staying in on Excadrill with a Healer Wisp, because he like the common one is Scarf. Now last week David brought a Shuckerberry Excadrill, literally the same way we brought Shuckerberry Jirachi, which actually was clutch for him and won him the game. But if he brings in Excadrill, I'm thinking this guy's scarfed, and I'm not staying. I'm getting out as soon as I can. The Excadrill is a huge problem for us, but I figure we should be able to deal with it relatively simple enough. So I decided not to go over Focus Blast because I just didn't see the utility in it, and I felt Dark Pulse might come in more handy because the Reniculus might come in specially bulky, and if he is, I want to nail this thing. Or like, if he physically bulky, and then we can hit it on a special side. That's what I mean to say. So after all that, I was happy enough with the team. Regirock kind of deals with Ember and then Mega Houndoom, even though Mega Houndoom, it could put in a little bit of work against us because we have Dry Skin, and against the Scyther, and my next pick didn't really help with that. But what I was more worried about was fighting types at this point. I was really worried about his fighting types. I thought Solar Panel, between Quaking, the Big R, and Solar Panel, I had a huge fighting weakness on the team at this point. So I figured I need another way to deal with fighting types. I need an immunity. I had immunity drafted, and I need a bit more bulk at this point. I wasn't really satisfied with the bulk on the team. Big R is nice and bulky as well, but and Scyther could take a hit if it's not super effective because of Evolite. But I wasn't pleased. I wanted a bit more bulk, and this led me to I forgot the nickname, Configurus, but it's Configurus. Configurus is a new debut, along with the Big R and Solar Panel. What am I going to call this? I don't know how to spell Tutankhamun, so I'm not going to call it that. I know, I'm going to call it Mac Daddy. That's what I'm going to call it. Mac Daddy, the hands-on Configurus. That's what I'm going to call it. But I decided to go especially bulky with this because it's got a nice natural physical bulk. It's been the same case with the big R. It's just power. It's just got a nice bit of physical bulk. It's going to be able to eat hits, and it gave me that fighting immunity that I needed. Now, granted, I'm still weak to Mega Houndoom. I'm still very, very weak to Mega Houndoom. Very, very worried about Mega Houndoom, but I figured with Mamoswine being scarfed and Regirock still knocking about, I should be okay. I should be okay to deal with that at some point. So I'm bringing I decided to bring the Configurus. I'm rocking Psychic, Will-O-Wisp, Knockoff, and Pain Split. Now, I'm bringing Knockoff, Pain Split because that's standard, and I figured another Knockoff user would be nice and handy because Configurus will force a switch. Because if I bring in Configurus and he can't do much to me, I can force the switch, get a free Knockoff off, and that's always very, very useful. So I figured that's nice and handy. Pain Split because that's the only nice bit of reliable recovery that that Configurus gets. Now, Psychic and Will-O-Wisp. I went for Psychic because, as I said, this is my hard counter to fighting types. So and Configurus gets Psychic. you know, it was a no-brainer for me. I needed to bring Psychic. I needed to bring Psychic to be able to deal with the trouble that will be these fighting types. And if I can hit these fighting types with super effective damage, they're not going to want to stay in on me. They're going to think, alright, we could hit KO this guy. This guy is going to hit us that hard, especially the Ember, because he's going to be able to eat Will-O-Wisps. But I was thinking, look, you're not going to be able to hit me that hard, because I'm going to be there and I'm going to hit you with a Psychic. And as soon as you see that Psychic, you're going to think twice about your next play, about what you're going to want to do. And so that was kind of my logic behind that. I was happy enough with that. I was really happy enough with Psychic. And then I decided to go Will-O-Wisp because I didn't know what else to put on it, and I wanted something to wear down his physical type mons. Because I thought, you know, T-Wave was great, but if God forbid I don't get the chance, I can't T-Wave the Excadrill, and God forbid I don't get the chance to T-Wave anything, I might as well equip it with a burn. I was at the point where if I can bring dual status at this point, it'd be nice. I'm not going to get status off on every mon. We saw that again in the last week. I got T-Wave off on 2 mons, and there were two key mons I needed to get T-Waves off. Granted, but I only got them on 2 mons, and if I can force a few switches with Configurus, which I'm planning to do, I should be able to get a few Willows off, get that residual damage, and allow the rest of my more offensive mons to be able to come in and just deal damage, hurt them from there. So after all this, I was pretty happy with this. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty happy with the team thus far, and I was struggling. I was really struggling for my 6th mon. I didn't know what I was going to use as my 6th Pokemon. I was tossing and turning about. I was thinking I could go Azumarill, but like he's water immunity and Vaporeon. I thought it wasn't going to fit well because he's got Thunderous as well, which is going out speed. I didn't want to go Belly Drum because that kind of, it hurts us a little bit too much. I didn't want to go too. I wanted offensive pressure, but I didn't want to put offensive pressure and then leave us vulnerable with Belly Drum. I will bring Belly Drum at some point, but I didn't want to bring it this time. I just wasn't comfortable with it on the team this time. I think that was my main issue. I was thinking about Jirachi, but he's got 2 fire types and he's got a ground type, and I was just looking at his team. I was looking at it, and his team just counters Jirachi way too much, just way too much. Mega Houndoom just, really counters Mega Jirachi, so hard. So I wasn't too keen on it, on Jirachi either. And then I was looking about, thinking, and I looked around and I looked at his team. And I looked at it and I said, bar Togekiss and Excadrill, he's got nothing that wants to deal with an outraging Charizard X. And that's why I decided to go for it. I decided to bring back Fear Me, and hopefully he does better this time. And I decided I was going to go with the Wall Breaker Fear Me. I was not going to go with his Roost shenanigans. If I'm going to come in and Charizard X is going to get a kill somehow, some way, I'm going to get a kill with this mon today, or in this matchup. I'm going to Flare Bits, I'm going to Outrage, I'm going to D-Dance it. Not D-Dance it, I'll do something to it. I'm going to hurt something, I'm going to cripple a wall, and that'll be it. Because I wanted more offensive pressure, because Reniculus and Vaporeon are tough walls to get through. They are very tough walls, and even though I got 1 or 2 answers for them, I was saying something else would be nice, and and as well, I figured that I might have the opportunity to set up on 1 or 2 of his mons. I figured I could probably set up on, on the Ludicolo, because we have that Dragon type once we Mega Evolve. I didn't think Vaporeon might be able to hit us once, and we could D-Dance on it, and then we can Outrage all over it. I thought Reniculus is going to be able to do that much to us because we're Fire type. We can't burn us. It might pain split us, but it's not going to be able. It won't. We'll still live that. I just felt comfortable with it, and I felt the only thing that's kind of stopping us from, his OU picks kind of stop Zardex in its tracks. Absolutely in its tracks, pretty much. Well, bar Excadrill, if it's Scarlet and has Rock Slide or Stone Edge and we get hit, we're done before we Mega Evolve. If we Mega Evolve, because we EQ. But I felt that we have enough to deal with his OU picks by ourselves, and I figured this thing's going to hurt things. He's going to over prepare for the Zardex. And then he'd be worried about the Zardex all game, thinking this is the guy I'm holding back to sweep. This is the guy I'm holding back to sweep. While all the while I'm thinking it's going to be Mammoth Swine. It's going to be Sword. It's going to be Solar Panel that is going to do the damage. Well, and then Zardex is just there. A, to distract him, and B, if I could get the chance to cripple one of his walls, I am going to suicide bomb this guy. This guy is going to be, you know, he's literally just going to be my suicide bomber at one point. And when I'm thinking, I cannot hit this thing anymore, I don't know what to do with it. I'm just going to flare blitz it and just kill it. That's what I'm going to do, and that's the plan. So yeah, that's the team overall. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it. I think overall we should be able to deal with most, pretty much all of his team. I'm happy enough with it. I think we kind of cover most of it. As I said, this guy is our win con. If we lose Mammoth Swine, I am going to be petrified for the rest of the game. If we lose, I'll only agree to lose Mammoth Swine once Thunderous is gone, personally. Because I have another answer for the Excadrill, and the big R kind of deals with Togekiss as well, which is nice. So same for Heliolisk. So the only way I will agree to let Quaking go down is if the Thunderous is gone. And then after that, I think we're fine. I honestly do think we're fine. I think we can live a hit off anything else. I think once we get rid of, if he brings all three of his OU picks, once we get rid of him, we're fine. Zardex is free to just roam free with outrages. If we can get if we can get a D-Dance off before he has the chance to paralyze us, we're free to outrage again, especially once that Excadrill is gone. I think we're in a good shape with this team. I'm very happy with it. I think it'll work out. I'm hoping it's a nice clean battle instead of the last one. But you know, you never know. So I've kept this long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed today's team building video. Please click like if you're here to support the Wexford Wailords. I want to go all the way. If we beat David, we go top of our division because he's in our division as well. So if we beat him, we go top. Because we'll be the only team with the perfect record in our division, which would be beautiful. If you want to see more of the UGBC or any more of the content on the channel, please click subscribe. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about what you think the team is. How do you like it? Any suggestions? You know, all that kind of jazz. What's your opinions about what I'm going up against? You know, all that kind of fun stuff. And on that note, you guys, I'll see you next time.